Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So, this is the fourth video going through the shelves at the Stourbridge Glass Museum. I'd like to highlight that if you watched the last video and the sound cut out at some halfway through, I've actually redone that bit. Yes. My OBS studio let me down for some reason. It all looked to be working. I did all the sound levels. It looked all good. But, yeah, I kind of listening to bits of it, but that's clearly not good enough. Anyway, yep, I am still kind of deep diving a bit more than usual into these bits. So I hope you don't mind that. And yes, so with that said, let's get on and have a look at some glass, eh? This is an interesting jug here. It's fantastically engraved. They say the engraver is James O'Fallon from 1880. They don't say who the maker is. And it's interesting to me because I have a decanter from this set. This also appears in one of the books as Thomas Webb. Not this exact design, I don't think, unless this is the one that's in the book as Thomas Webb. But then also the one that I have, that design appears on this jug in the Whitefriars catalogue, and someone's also sent me a link to something where they're saying it's something else. So I have three possible attributions just for this one jug, and let's do them all. Yeah, I'll show you. This is a page from the book British Glass 1800 to 1914 by Charles Hajdemach, and this is the very same jug we were looking at. Jug with applied lion masks on feet, probably designed by James O'Fallon at Thomas Webb and Sons, 1870s, height, blah, 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 Michael Parkington collection. So this jug doesn't appear in the Michael Parkington catalogues, so it wasn't bought at the auction of the sale of Michael Parkington's effects, so it must have been bequested to behested, I think it is, to the museum, as it was at the time. Anyway, so this story doesn't quite work, this here, and I'll show you why. Yep, straight onto another page, and here we are. This is James Powell and Sons, Whitefriars Glassworks, London. So this is from the whitefriarsglassworks.com website. This is a page from the 1860 catalogue. So the other one's already 10 years adrift because here is the jug. Now, the engraving on it is different, but here it is. You know, same handle, same little lion mask, same shape, same little feet hanging off the bottom. So, and there's also a cup to go with it. In fact, I think there's two cups here. There's other things in this shape, but none of them have the feet and the lion masks. So, yeah, it's clearly earlier than 1870, or at least the design is earlier than 1870. And here it is in the Whitefriars catalogue. But this isn't the only story I have. So this is in the catalogue. Okay, so that's whether or not they made the blank or not is another story. But they at least are getting blanks of this in 1860 and engraving it. So if we go here, we have another version of the jug. Now this jug has a different frieze on it, and it says John Ford, Hollywood Flint Glassworks, Edinburgh, and Aesthetic Movement jug.
So this was sold not that long ago, 3rd of October. And it's got a very interesting story with it. So it says John Ford, blah, 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 aesthetic movement, jug engraved, circa 1870. But we know that the jug is in the 1860 catalogue for Whitefriars, blah, 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 blah. And then it says, although there is a jug of the same form and structural design as this, illustrating Charles Hajdemach, circa 1992, blah, blah, blah. But that's the one that's in the book that we're just there are a number of other examples which have been sold at Bonham's, Edinburgh, including this exact jug described as being Holyrood glassworks. Similarly, the Edinburgh Museum has an example of a beaker with the same feet and lion masks, prints by Holyrood glassworks. A pair of decanters of the same form, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so they're saying they also have a counter reference from the Edinburgh Museum saying it's from the Holyrood glassworks. So where do we go? Is it from London? Is it from Stourbridge? Or is it from Edinburgh? Interesting. I'd like to thank Richard Cairthon for giving me this extra features, because I would have just gone, oh yeah, Thomas Webb. And he just gave me this link recently. And yeah, I do actually have the decanter with this exact same pattern on it. So does that mean mine's from the Holyrood Flint Glassworks? Or is it Whitefriars? So it's just basically my decanter looks like this, but with a long neck and a stopper. Yeah, but it's got this same pattern here on it. And it's much bigger. I don't know. It's, to me, everybody else has got conjecture apart from the Whitefriars, which is an original document. So that has got to be the hot favourite. Unless people were copying the same thing. Yeah, it's a really difficult one. It could be that people were copying the exact same pattern. I think it's such a specific pattern. I don't know. Yeah, it's a awkward one, because you'd think rather than copy it exactly, they would put a little variation or something. But this is pretty much looks the same, and it looks exactly the same in the catalogue. So, yeah, isn't it great? This, you think you know something, and you don't, and someone thinks they know it, and they probably don't. But I've got something from the 1860s that's actually 10 years earlier than all of this, that says actually you've at least got the year wrong by 10 years. So anyway, interesting.
It's difficult to film this and keep reflection out because I'm using my arm to block the light from behind. But yeah, this is a fantastic aesthetic movement jug. It says it's from 1870 by John Northwood. John Northwood invented keep my arm in, the process for acid etching those little designs. They started with like Greek key and things like that, but yeah, that's a really nice piece, fantastic design, and I think it's a mixture of the sort of like machine acid etch and hand acid etching.
Sticking with the British Glass 1800 to 1940 by Charles Hajdemach, we have the same jug here. Now it says jug and custard cup by John Northwood Workshop, showing variations in geometric etching. So John Northwood, you see this is kind of like not quite the common pattern. You quite often see a pattern like this with this top and bottom with a Greek key. This is a less common, more complex pattern. But John Northwood invented the machines that make those patterns. And yeah, so when you see this kind of wear, it means that it could be as early as the 1860s. I've actually tried to see if this jug was made later, and it does seem to be that sort of like this style, I can't find it beyond the 1870s in the retail stuff that I've got. So yeah, so these are that period, it looks like. Yeah, and I didn't find, I was thinking, maybe I could find at least the shape, but I didn't even find the shape in the books that start from the 1870s. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, this does appear in, or a similar shape does appear in the Whitefriars pattern books from the 1860s though, so that still goes with this date that they've got here.
I'm showing you this bit here because I'm pretty certain this decanter here is in the books. It's by George Bacchus and Sons of 1850. I'm wondering if it's in the Great Exhibition. I've got some of the paperwork from the Great Exhibition, so we can have a look at that and see if it's there.
So here we are with British Glass, 1800 1914 again, and yes, so this is the decanter, and I looked at this and I was thinking, George Bacchus and Sons 1850, and I thought, ooh, I have the Great Exhibition catalogue for 1850, and I know George Bacchus and Sons is in it. And I ran away and had a look, and this decanter wasn't in there. And I was thinking maybe this was the reference, but it's not. So this is the reference you've got. I was thinking, it's great to have a reference that's actually from the time frame from when it was made. But yeah, anyway, this is what I have. So I keep trying. But there you go. It's still a very nice decanter. You can see where, actually, if you look here, see where it's gone. Some of it is kind of a little bit off, not quite uniform all the way up, and they've actually, no, they haven't. What they're doing is they're uniting, I see. I thought they were going a bit wrong, but actually, no, they're uniting the bits as they go up. So, yeah, forget that. It's still good. It's sometimes, in fact, you can see here that some of these little squares are slightly different shapes, but it's still pretty decent. And yeah, probably they didn't make many of them because I bet it was really difficult to do. This is a page from the book 19th Century British Glass by Hugh Wakefield. And because, I'm a fun guy and I just like to show you more, this decanter is in here as well. And this is what I'm talking about. When you go to a museum, other people use this. And I have moaned about this in the past where you see the same stuff over and over again because people just go straight to the museum, take their references from them and don't, it's nice if they go to auction houses and collections and things and try to find things that are just not the same thing over and over again. But anyway, so they've got this down as George Bacchus again, Birmingham, 1850, but they're saying Victorian Albert Museum. So is this the same decanter, or is it that Victorian Albert Museum have got their own, or did they give it to Stourbridge Glass Museum because this is an older book? Don't know. But anyway, just thought I'd show you that.
I've got another piece here. This jug here in the background now. It says number 14, possibly shown at the Crystal Palace exhibition, WHB and J. Richardson's, Wardsley, 1850-51. So I also have the book for that, and with illustrations, and we can see if this jug is in there. If it's not this particular jug, it might be the same design, but I can find that.
Looking at the book British Glass 1800 to 1914, and so I wasn't able to find the jug that I was looking at and going, oh, I love that jug, blah 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 blah. So, but looking through it, I did find the vase that was, or one of the vases here that was next to it. So this is by Richardson's enamelled vase, and it says 1847 to 51. I was also able to find this vase as well, which was the other vase which was there, white open, blah blah blah. Weeping Song by 1851 here it's saying. It's got like a cup mouth, which is a very classical thing, so it's following the aesthetic movement. Now it says here, so this is Richardson's too, by the way, so but anyway, white open vase, the scene of the weeping at the Song of Demodocus after an engraving by Flaxman, 1851. I thought, what's this about Flaxman? So, yeah, you know me. This is the engraving. So this is the drawing that became the engraving. So, yeah, by John Flaxman. And if you look at the dates, this is like 60 years before the vase was made. So this was obviously pulled, that must have been in a book somewhere, and they've gone, we'll just use that classic thing. Flaxman went to Rome, so he's probably copied it from somewhere. And yeah, and they've then brought it 60 years into the future. They've gone, oh, we can pull this out of the shelf and stick it on this vase. So, what does it say? Collection, Royal Academy of Arts. So, anyway, there you go. So, yeah, there's a little history. Probably a lot of these drawings have you see quite a lot of these white vases, or sometimes they're black with orange on, or white with dark, either black or dark brown on them, sort of following the classical tradition with classical drawings. And I'm wondering if they're just basically copying drawings that are when they're saying following the classical tradition, are they just straightforward following classical drawings? He's probably copied this from somewhere in Rome, and they've then copied it straight to that vase 60 years later. Just a thought. They have a whole pile of carnival glass here. Some of it looks American, some of it looks English. It might all be English, but copies of American. I mean, I know this piece is an English piece. I think that's by Davidson's. But I don't know about the rest of it, whether it's supposed to be. There's nothing saying, there's no labels with it. If you were a person that wanted to collect carnival glass in the UK, now is the time, because when I'm going out and about, you know, a piece like, say, this one at the back, you can pick a piece like that up for under £20 probably, or this one here. Yeah, I mean, I've seen this one, and I think I've seen that one as well. I've definitely seen, you can't see it very well, it's too far back, which is why I wasn't highlighting it, but I've definitely seen that's the Dragon and Lotus one. So that's an American design. Yeah, some of these I've definitely seen. I've seen these vases. So yeah, and they're usually dirt cheap. In America they're not, but in the UK they are. I picked some of the bits of carnival glass that were there, and we're going to use my usual technique for trying to find them. So I'm using David Dottie's Carnival Glass website, and yeah, so this is the first piece. We're going to look for the chrysanthemum bowl that was there. So that was one of the first ones we looked at. So we scrolled out, it's in alphabetical order, but you can see, you can just look at the images, and that's all I did because I didn't know it was called chrysanthemum, so I just kept going, and there it is. It's this one, Chrysanthemum Imperial. So if we go in there, have a look. Yep, that is definitely, in fact, that is the same color as the one that we were looking at. So, it doesn't really, it's really for people that collect it in America. And I don't even know what all this means here. Yeah. But anyway, so what I then do, and it doesn't give you the dates either, so I don't know what's going on, but if we go here to Carnival Glass, I then did a search in the little search here, and here it is. This is the one, and it's $40. So generally in the UK, everything is between $10 and $20. So yeah, profit there. Or 10 and 20 pounds, I should say. Let's go to the next bit. Yeah, so we saw rustic vases. There was a pair of them. I think they were like this one here. Was it this one? I think maybe more this one. So again, went straight to Carnival Glass. It's $95 this one. Usually the taller vases are usually a bit more here in the UK, maybe £25, something like that. So still a lot of profit in that one. So the next one we saw was Holly by Fenton. This is it here. And again, it's the same. Don't know what all this means. It's something to do with colours and whatever. I have no idea. It's different sizes and colours. I don't know what these numbers or what it means. But anyway, that's what we're looking at. Go to Carnival Glass. I think this is the closest one I could find. $85. So, yeah, Fenton, Red Holly, Carnival Glass. Do they have it in a different colour? Let me go back one page. Is it going to go back? No. Oh, yes, it is. Do they have it? No, that's what they have. Oh, there. No, that's. I think this one's closer. Wait. Let's look at this one. $65. Yeah. Anyway, so the last one I'm going to look at is, and it's one I mentioned, the Dragon and Lotus pattern. We saw one of those, and yeah, this is a more desirable pattern. And if I skip across, $650. So I've seen these in the UK for 20 quid. The problem is that you've got to get them out to the US, find someone that would buy them, etc., etc. So, yeah, there is a difference, but there has to be the exact one. But even then, this is an expensive pattern, and I have seen it a few times in the UK. So, yeah, if you were here on a buying trip from the US, every antique centre you're going to is going to find you maybe one or two. Some places have several pieces of American Carnival glass, and you could just pack them up and ship them back to the US and make a massive markup on it. Anyway, that's the Carnival glass. I'm not going to do any more than this. I just saw this one. I thought, that's enough. That's enough. $650 for that one. And we'll stop at that point. Oh, and also he's giving you ages here. Somewhere they say, usually the ages are very imprecise. It's not actually said here. No, he's not going to give you an age. But most of them, they say early 20th century. Early 19th, there you go. Made in the early 1900s. Nearly missed it. We're looking at a page from the book, The Identification of English Pressed Glass by Jenny Thompson. And I was completely wrong about that boat. It's not it's not Davidson's. It's Sowerby. And here it is. And it comes in 3 sizes, 10, 12 and 15 inches. And it's from 1874. Doesn't tell you about colours though. And I know it comes in at least clear as well as, and I think it might even, I don't know if it comes in opaline. I've seen it in something else, I know, other than the Carnival glass version that they had there. So, yeah, it's this. Got an amazing array of uranium glass here, and something that I recognise quite easily, like this is Thomas Webb,
this is John Walsh. Yeah. Oh look, one of these little things, blibbies. I wonder if that's a Scandinavian little blade and capstan glass. Yep, I can't escape them.
I thought rather than try to cover a lot of those, and I did just zoom through anyway, so I thought I'd cover the first glass that I pointed out and then the last one I pointed out. So the first one, Thomas Webb and Sons fir cone pattern glass. Here it is. This is from 1906. It's an advert in the supplement to the Pottery Gazette. And yeah, so this is the fir cone suite as it was at the time. It changed over time and other things came in and went. Decanters changed and everything. But I think it's going to be this one or this one. It was quite a big glass. I'm used to seeing kind of like these little ones. In fact, I think there might even be one that's really tiny. But anyway, this is what we're looking at. So 1906 is the earliest reference I have for those glasses. I think they were also made after World War One, probably into the 20s or something, or maybe even the 30s. So, in fact, as a pattern it was used probably after the war as well, but not with this suite. Different glasses, different decanters, completely very different. This suite, as such, evolved a bit, but actually, in fact, different stuff took over afterwards. So the last glass we were looking at is this one here. This is a page from the book English Table Glass by Percy Bate, and it's a page from the pattern book Edinburgh and Leith 1811. And yeah, you've got this glass here, which is, you know, these are champagnes, but we've only got one page. So there'll be other pages with other glasses on, and if this is the pattern that they're doing, this one and this one, they'll do little wines and champagnes as well, and cordials probably even. So this type of glass is what it is, and I call them bladed capstans. So whether that's right or wrong, nobody says otherwise because nobody's naming them, but it's a type of glass that was made for a very long time. The last record I have of them in the UK is 1855. Unfortunately, I then have records of them being made in Europe in several countries. If you've watched my previous videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. And actually, I have an even later reference than the one I was talking about there. I have this one, which is Brockwitz 1926. So this is 115 years later, and here is the glass. Dun dun dun. So I suspect that glass is not English. I suspect it's continental. Just something about it didn't smell like it was first half of the 19th century, and it's great. They've called it Anglaise. So yeah, they know where this design came from. So yeah, and I'm sure it was made a bit longer than this, but this is the newest record that I've got for it. So there we go.
This one here is debated about who it's by. Some of them are definitely made by John Walsh. Some people are saying they're also made by Whitefriars. Then you've also got this one here. That's a Whitefriars one. I don't think I've ever seen it in uranium green. I've got some clear ones. But yeah, there's some really beautiful glass here. And we've got an old piece of brown or khaki coloured uranium glass. Bit of that glows totally solid.
So for my last references, I'm going to cheat and use my own website. And so if I go into manufacturers, John Walsh, go into other glasses. This is the glass we were looking at. Now, I've got them down as John Walsh. other people tell me they're Whitefriars. In fact, I've said that they're regularly attributed to Whitefriars, but they're not in any of the books. And yeah, I know there's a massive gap in the catalogues, but they are in the John Walsh book, and they are marked, is what they've told us. My other references are just that they're there, that they existed at these times, but they're not firm references to John Walsh. Yeah, it's all a bit... So I put them in here because that is the only firm reference I have for this type of glass. Other people have other opinions. I would like to see the firm reference for it. And then the other glass we were looking at was a Whitefriars one. Here it is. We go here. We go here. Scroll down through my glasses. Where is it? Here. Here it is. Ta-da. So this is in the Whitefriars Art James Powell and Leslie Jackson, page 104, and it says Harry Powell circa 1890s. So yeah, there we have it. But I only have one reference for it. Some of these I have loads of references for. So saying, oh, there's one with 3. Some of them have lots. But anyway, let's scroll back. And the other piece that we were looking at the very end was a rinser. I don't have a rinser, but let me show you something I do have. Well, I have lots of rinsers, but none that are like that one. So if I go to cruets, and I go into pedestal salt bottom. So as a colour, that's quite a rare colour for that early period. But I have this piece here. You can see I've got plenty of references for the shape. Yeah, saying it's circa 1800. It says Irish. In one of my Irish books, I think it's the... no, it's not one of these ones. In the book Irish Glass by Phelps Warren, there is a piece of brown glass like this, or khaki coloured. So they were being made in Ireland. This is apparently Irish. I think I might have said Anglo-Irish. No. And yeah, if I put this under a UV light, it glows like a solid red. So it's not even it's opaque. You can't see through it really. It just becomes like solid. So yeah, there's a lot of uranium in the, and this is made not long after uranium was discovered as a separate mineral. So yeah, they probably didn't know what they were doing with it then. So yeah, this is from about 1800 or so. And yeah, so this is not a common colour for that time period. But if you see a colour like this on what looks to be an early piece like that rinser, it can be still good. You know, it's not unknown for that colour. So there you have it. I'm back with some of my hard-hitting controversies, etc. If you can call it a storm in the teacup, really, discussions on certain bits of glass. But yeah, I love all that. Trying to get to the nubbins of the truth. Trying to find valid evidence. Evidence that's not someone's opinion. Yeah. So anyway, all the references I used will be in the description below. All the contact details for Stourbridge Glass Museum will be in the description below. And please remember to like and subscribe because it really helps my channel. And yeah, so thank you for watching again and have a good night. Good night.